conversation today based on the documentary that we watched and based on the story that you guys read on Monday and finished up yesterday. The people that are on the inside of the circle right now, you guys are going to be the first people to discuss. Okay? And we're going to look at the questions that are getting passed out right now, and we're going to figure out where we want this conversation to start. And we're going to keep moving through it from there. All right? After a question or two, depending on how the conversation is going, I'm going to ask you to switch with your inside person. Can everybody, if you're on the inside, turn around and say hello to their outside buddy? Thank you. So what's going to happen is I'm going to ask a question, and then I'm going to give you 1 to 2 minutes, depending on how much you need, to turn and talk with the person behind you, to kind of get your ideas about how you might answer it, to think about what information from the text or what you remember from the documentary you're going to use, thank you, to support your opinion, okay? This is a conversation, and we might end up, like in third hour, we actually ended up talking about West Junior High quite a bit because they are seeing some issues of racism and divide in our school as well, and the conversation just went that way. It was a quality conversation, so I'm not going to stop you. But really the whole idea behind Socratic Seminar is that you're stating your opinion, but then you're backing it with textual evidence. So as much as you can, refer to a part in a story, refer to the specific part in the documentary. That's why you have your sheets in front of you, to help you remember and to help you have specifics. Okay? Then what's going to happen is I'm going to say switch. Outside person is going to go inside. Inside person is going to go outside. All right? Does that all make sense so far? Cool. Probably 4. All right? So up here we have some rules. Share your ideas 4 times to get full points. We do 4-point scale in here, right? So we're going to work on that. Okay, take a look at the questions. So this little sheet of paper that's in front of you. Eyes on that. How are Sarah Weston's feelings about being seen as Dakota Sarah similar to how Junior feels about being from the Red? Take a minute. Don't start when I say this, but this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to turn and talk with your partner. I want you to figure out if you would like to start with question 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and then I'm going to have the inside people vote before we get started. Okay? Turn and talk. Figure out which one you want to start with. Okay. We're going to start with question 4. Eyes on question 4. Explain Junior's 2 identities. Is it okay to act one way in some situations and another way in other situations? Turn and talk to your partner for 1 minute, formulate your opinion, then we'll come back. Yes. What do you guys think? Okay? So number 4. Explain Junior's 2 identities. Is it okay to act one way in some situations and another way in other situations?
I think that it kind of depends on the case. Like for Junior's case, he shouldn't have pretended like he had more money than he did. But if in a different case, maybe it's okay.
Isaac, I actually kind of agree with you, and by saying it kind of just depends on the situation that you're in.
Thank you.
Gotcha. All right, number 5. The documentary talked about the ways in which the Dakota 38 hangings still affect people to this day. How did this event positively and negatively shape some of the identities that we saw? Go ahead and turn and talk.
I feel like
While we read, and then whomever would like to start can start. Junior's friends find out that he is poor and try to help. The riders from the Dakota 38 Memorial have to stop in towns along the way where white people feed them and help them. Do you think this happens out of understanding, guilt, or pity, and why?
I agree with Brady.
sorry. I agree with him with like the Dakota, but for Junior, I think it's just like understanding and pity. Like when that girl started crying for him, she was feeling like pitiful that he didn't have that he didn't have a ride home. But I think that other guy like Roger understood that he was poor, but didn't like tell everyone because he didn't want to like embarrass him.
I agree, but like, I think more of the guilt was from the documentary. Like, the people, they were white who they stopped by, and the white people were the people who hung Dakota 38. So they must feel like kind of guilty being that same race.
Yeah, I don't